on paying who he wanted. So it was just a matter of time. I'm glad he did it before the trade
Yeah.
deadline.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys, we live. What's good, everybody? This is Goat James Kingdom with B Lee and Johnny. Johnny's having a few technical difficulties at the moment, but we here with our panel, Ralph and Craig. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to talk about is the current NBA. Here's the standings, and I don't think too much has changed. The only big thing that happens with what we were just talking about, Kyrie Irving.
Hmm.
Kyrie Irving. What you guys think was going on with Kyrie? I know Craig was saying he understand what Kyrie is trying to do. So you go ahead and kick it off, Craig.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't get his extension last year. He didn't get it during the summer, and he didn't get it during the season. So it's at this point he trying to get his bag before. So I understand it. You don't want to pay me, then I don't want to play for y'all. Ain't no stipulation. We ain't no other person in the NBA has any stipulation on a contract. Not even
That's
Zion
true.
to an extent.
Yeah, that's true. You know, Kyrie Irving is one of the most talented players ever, and I could tell he feel disrespected because they're trying to say you got to do this, you got to do that, just so you can play basketball. So
Yeah.
it's understandable. I know the Nets are doing good. They're what 32-20,
Yeah, his
Yeah.
replacement
and
had
we're most
44 last
yeah
night.
yeah like they're doing good, but man, he feels disrespected. He feels like he's just the team do not believe in him. But he did do certain things that caused them to little pause at his deal. But still, he's one of the most talented players ever. He feels disrespected, so he said, "You know what? I'll just leave." I remember Ray Allen said something similar before he left Boston because they was always trying to trade him, so he didn't feel like Boston needed him, so he just left. And Kyrie probably feeling the same way.
My only thing is what team will want him, and they got to
You
be the
know,
team. Fine.
you know who won him the
I ain't
Lakers,
gonna
but
mention it. They
but
don't
no,
want
but no,
anybody
nobody
at this
wants
point.
Russ. No, nobody
Yeah.
wants Russ. Like
And
they're
plus
Yo, if
the
you go to
Lakers
the
don't have
Lakers,
the assets.
KD is leaving. That's my take.
They don't have the assets to trade for him because you got to look at Boston's side. What are they going to accept for trading Kyrie? And I don't
you,
think they'll be able to do that.
you know the thing that I heard that if they trade like Kyrie for Russ, like it's more luxury tax for the Nets. So it don't really make sense to do it that way. So the Lakers
Hmm.
have to find more
A third
teams
team.
to
Yeah.
help. And who wants to help out the Lakers? Who
Nobody.
wants to help the Lakers win a title? That's the problem. No one wants to help the Lakers win a title.
And he need to.
And for me, I actually want Russ on the team. I don't know what they're trying to do with Russ. I don't think it's helping the team by not letting them start and not letting them play in the fourth quarter. Yes, he's gonna make mistakes and turnovers, but Russ plays hard. Every time he's in the fourth, they win, and when he's not in the fourth, they lose. So
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Lakers, man. I don't know,
I'm gonna
man.
tell you, I was talking about this with a couple of my guys, and would it be scary if Miami was able to trade for him? And that, ooh,
Listen, man. Listen, you gotta stop talking about my Heat like that. Listen, what's good? What's
no, it'd
good,
be
y'all?
scary.
What's
I'm
good,
giving
y'all?
props for your Heat,
Nah, I don't want
even though we
Kyrie.
beat y'all.
I don't want Kyrie. I really don't, because Kyrie's not gonna get the 194 he's looking for in Miami. So he's not gonna work down here.
Yeah,
Kyrie's not gonna work in
basically,
Miami.
yeah. Basically, for the Heat, you're gonna rent him for 3 months, and then he's gonna leave, and you're gonna give up, players,
Well, I think he would. I think the
assets.
Heat was one of his listings though. It
He
was the
You
hasn't
can't
he
Lakers.
has
really
he
trust
hasn't really
Kyrie.
he hasn't really stated who he wants. I told you guys this before the season started, man. He's going to LA, whether it was before the trade line or before the trade deadline or after the season. He's going to LA, man. He's going to play in Los Angeles. Whether it's the Clippers or the Lakers is what we need to find out.
Well, after the season, it's most likely will be the Lakers because the Clippers have standards. The Lakers don't. He could really do whatever he want with the Lakers.
Well, the Clippers got Tyrone Lue. I mean, that's another person.
The Clippers got standards.
Yes, they do. Like they got some
got
standards.
playing
Like
standards.
Lakers don't got none.
They got
Lakers
low
just,
They'll fit right
Lakers just, if you suit up, you good.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Brandon's right about the Lakers, bro. You know, they
don't care.
They don't care. They'll get anybody, bro. They'll put anybody in a Laker uniform.
Yeah, he could take days off where he wants to. You don't have to call nobody.
Sound like the Clippers. Yeah. He can fit right in with Paul George.
I do believe the Lakers is the only team that is crazy enough to give him the 194. To be honest with you, so
I don't think they'll be able to give him.
Yeah, I don't think they'll give him like the 194, but they'll give him like a max deal for like 3 years.
He's gonna. I mean, you're gonna free up the cap space with Westbrook, right? Because Westbrook's gonna be a part of the deal. You're gonna get. They're not gonna get Kyrie and keep Westbrook. Like,
you can't.
But they're in a luxury tax space. They had a negative 19 mil, almost 20 mil. So even when Russ goes off,
they're the Lakers.
They only got like 25 mil. 27 mil to spend when Russ's contract come up. So I don't think he'll be able to sign for that much.
Don't worry. The what's it called? The max the salary cap goes up every year. It'll go up more next year, and LeBron is going to be. Trust me, they'll make it work. They'll make it work.
It don't go up until 2024.
They'll
That's the next time
it work. Like they don't care about wasting money. They got Russ on their team, so they don't really care.
They're the Lakers, man.
They don't have any standards.
They're the Lakers. That's what we
got.
The
only way that'll work is a sign and trade. And what do they have to trade to do the sign and trade?
Especially after Russ is off the books. Like they don't. This draft picks that you can't. No, those draft picks are probably going to be bad picks, but there's something that they have in they back pocket.
But
is it worth Kyrie Irving?
No, but the real question is, does the Nets actually make a trade, or do they say, we just gonna hold on to him? That's it. If you don't,
they don't have no one's gonna want Kyrie. That's the problem. No one's gonna give up assets for 3 months for Kyrie Irving.
But there's supposed to be 3 or 4 teams. The Heat are interested. 6. The Mavs are interested. The Clippers are supposedly the Clippers already made a big offer, and you already know what LeBron said. LeBron said, "Duh." So I'm just saying, you know what I mean? But do they hold? I mean, because some people are saying they just got to hold on to him. They don't have to trade him.
But they rather get something for nothing.
The Nets wants to get something, but it depends on what those teams are offering.
There it is. Ben Simmons, Kyrie goes to Phoenix for Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton. Boom, problem solved.
Wow. So, but do you want to go to Phoenix if you're Kyrie with the way they got?
It don't matter. He don't got
Kyrie don't care because he's there for just 3 months. He's just there for 3 months. He don't care. He don't care. I don't think.
Nah, he don't have a choice. He don't have a play. He don't have a play. He can't block.
A choice.
I think Kyrie Irving don't care because he's going to be there for 3 months and then he's going to go where he wants to go.
That's why he has a choice, because at the end of the day, what team's going to rent you for 3 months plus give up all they have to give up for you? That's why he has a choice.
Well,
he don't really have a choice if he wants to be out. They're just going to trade him for the best offer.
He's going to LA.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's going to go somewhere for 3 months and then he's going to go to LA. Like he don't care where he goes. He just don't want to be in Brooklyn because he feel disrespected. Like he might as well play somewhere else for 3 months.
Do y'all think he could work with Luka? Like they were saying, you think him and Luka could work
well? Nah, he's not going to work with Luka. Like it's different because when he played with LeBron and LeBron was so dominant, LeBron was a lot older than Kyrie. He wasn't a lot, but he was, in the league for 10 plus years. Luka's a young dude who's going to tell Kyrie when and how to shoot, so he's not going to work with that.
Yeah.
No. What's it called? NBA Talk said Kawhi and PG availability is terrible. So do you want to? Yeah. Does he want to go play?
That's because they're hurt. They're hurt, but
they're always hurt.
But Kyrie just don't play when he don't want to. That's different. Somebody's hurt and someone who just
that's what I'm saying.
go pick and choose when he plays. That's different.
Yeah, but as Kyrie though, do you want to go play with them? You know what I'm saying?
Kyrie don't care where he's going to go for 3 months.
Okay.
That's the problem. He don't care. He just wants to be out of the Nets.
And he wants 94. He wants 194 too.
He's not. He's never getting that from anybody.
He said
no one's giving him that. No one's giving him that.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy if he does get it though.
All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and kick off the topic. So let's give an update on where LeBron's at.
It's the last show. It's the last show he's gonna be. It is the last show we're gonna be talking about him not being the greatest scorer of all time. That's it. From here on out, when we go into next week's show, he's gonna be considered the greatest scorer of all time.
Don't worry, guys. I already got graphs made for it. So I already got graphs.
I mean, I said it's gotta be like your favorite word. It gotta be across the board. If that's what it is. I mean,
well, that's what the GOAT means. That's what the GOAT means.
I mean, if you want to
all right. So okay. So what I want to talk about, I know we talked about this a few times, but Kareem has been disrespected so much it's not even funny. They're saying that no one ever considered Kareem the greatest. I know you guys probably don't believe that because basketball started before Jordan came to the league, but Kareem is in the top 10 of all these categories, and he's an all-time leading scorer. That means something. Like, Kareem had a dominant career. A lot of people think he's the greatest basketball player ever, not just Michael Jordan, but Kareem gets some respect from people. I know they think that Kareem was not that great and no one considered him the greatest before because of Jordan. But before Jordan, there was someone who they considered, a great player. It didn't just start with Michael Jordan. No. So that's where I want to start this off with. And let me let y'all guys listen to something that's very interesting. Oh, let me bring that up. Let me find it. All right.
Pat Riley, as LeBron chases history, in quotes, Kareem's the greatest player of all time. Rob G, you read the article, kind of summarize Riley's take.
Sure. Well, the whole thing was written with the LeBron James quest to surpass Kareem on the all-time scoring list as the backdrop. That was the whole premise of the column. And for the most part, it was an ode to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And, of course, Pat Riley coached him during the Showtime Lakers era. So Pat Riley, again, was asked about LeBron James passing Kareem and his overall thoughts on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as a player. Here's what he said. I always said that Kareem was the greatest player of all time because of his longevity. Kareem was unique from the standpoint that he could play at a high level, play 80 games a year, get beat up because of double and triple teams, and guys just taking shots at him. He just developed this mental toughness along with a great physical body to really last forever. I put Michael Jordan in there too, but Kareem was the greatest at that time because of his longevity and the fact that he continued to perform at a high level when he was in his late 30s and 40s.
All right, so how crazy do that sound?
Well, from Pat Riley, it does because he initially didn't he just retire? He retired Jordan number, calling him the greatest of all time. But if you think Kareem was the greatest, you would have done that as well for Kareem. So I still don't understand where's that coming from. Like, how you
did Pat Riley retire his number, or did the Heat retire his number?
No, he did because he was the president. He was the one that had in charge of that. He literally said, I'm retiring. No one's going to wear 23 who plays for Miami Heat because that belongs to the greatest player of all time. That's literally what he said. So now I'm confused about this. So,
I went to that game. I remember going to that game. He was in Washington when that happened. That was his last game in Miami. I remember I went to that game with my whole family. Everybody had Washington Jordan jerseys on. I had my Caron Butler jersey, and it was weird though because they did retire his jersey. You can't wear 23 in Miami. I don't remember him saying he's the greatest player of all time. But again, we
Yeah,
all
I
know
never
these.
heard that he said that.
Yeah, but they did have a ceremony. They had a whole
Mhm.
ceremony. They had the whole thing. They lowered the curtain, and it was his. And it's still, when you go there, you'll see it. It'll be his jersey. It's a Bulls jersey and a Washington jersey. One side is the 2 with the Bulls, and the 3 is a Washington jersey. And it's basically just honoring Michael Jordan, because again, Michael Jordan did change a lot for the game of basketball, and that's something that we've never denied here in GOAT James Kingdom. So him getting praised for his actual impact in the game of basketball, changing the way the marketing, the whole marketing and branding and making the league a global league is, I mean, like I said, nobody can deny that, and nobody can match it. So,
All right, Craig, what you think? I mean, Ralph, what you think?
I didn't think nothing of that at all, really.
Yeah, he wants to say Kareem's the greatest, and he had reasons why he said Kareem was the greatest. I didn't think anything was wrong with it. I don't really care about his jersey being retired in Miami. That doesn't mean anything.
When did Pat Riley say this though? How recent is this? Is this
like,
recent?
Yeah,
It's recent because he was talking about LeBron passing his record. So this is recent.
Recent. Yeah, I didn't really put too much into it, I guess, about Kareem. I mean, about Jordan being just not retired. That don't really mean nothing.
Yeah, I guess Pat Riley feels the way Brandon feels. That to be honest with you, yes, Kareem has been outshadowed and been disrespected for the last 3 decades. So he feels like he has to set it straight now. That LeBron's brought him into the forefront. Again, LeBron's doing great things, bringing Kareem back into the forefront. Look at that.
All right, let me keep going.
Chris, that's why Pat Riley. Hello, is this on? Because your argument for Kareem is the most illogical and ridiculous thing I've ever heard. For such a guy who's such a great coach, and I have nothing but respect. I tell you all the time. I quote Pat Riley all the time. Either you're in or you're out, right, Chris? Right, I talk about him all the time. The job he did with the New York Knicks was unbelievable. It really was, that he got that team without any stars other than Patrick Ewing to the NBA Finals. He's a tremendous coach, but he's illogical when he makes this statement. I get it. You adore Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's a friend of yours, but it doesn't make any sense. Like you said, he's given indications. I would bet at some point he said Michael Jordan was the greatest ever. And then, Rob, I know when LeBron was in Miami, that Riley used to call LeBron the GOAT, best of all time.
All right. So, this is like a recurrent thing that Jordan fans get so upset when someone else is mentioned as the greatest by somebody. Like, why is it such a problem that someone thinks that Kareem is the greatest, that they're illogical? Like, Kareem didn't have one of the greatest careers of all time. Like, you Jordan pounds, can y'all explain why it's such a problem when someone else is mentioned as the greatest besides Jordan? Like, what's the problem with that?
I don't think it's a problem. I mean,
it's definitely a problem. Like, this is something that goes on daily. Like, why is it such a problem?
Yeah,
I don't. Yeah, me personally, I don't think it's a problem. I mean, it comes with great debate when you're talking about who's the greatest. You bring with facts, and I don't see anything wrong with it. But I mean, you may get it from the other Jordan fans that talk.
I mean, this
crazy,
is
but
fans, the media, this is all over the place.
But why does he have to go to the idea? Okay, like right there, like as soon as he says, him saying LeBron is the GOAT, like
the GOAT, yeah.
What did that have to do with the conversation? So you're trying to discredit, Pat Riley by saying, well, he's all over the place. He said this one time, he's here. It's like Brandon said, okay, right now he says, go, Kareem's his GOAT. So like, why are you going to go back to what he said, whatever, 10 years ago or 20 years ago? Like, people can make changes in their mind and who they decide is the GOAT. One day we will have to decide somebody's probably better than LeBron James. It's just going to take a lot. Y'all can't accept that people are actually better than Michael Jordan, and they can actually make an argument, articulate that they're better than Michael Jordan. That's what gets MJ fans upset.
Like what Pat Riley said makes sense to how Pat Riley thinks. There's nothing wrong with that. Kareem dominated for a long time. His stats are amazing. Like there's nothing wrong with that. There's literally nothing wrong with that. But let's keep going on with these clowns.
Hold on, before you do that, my bad. Another thing about Kareem too, he had everybody in awe. It wasn't just like the fans. Like everybody who saw Kareem play was in awe of Kareem. The players, everybody just looked at him like this guy is incredible. He was a god on the basketball court, like literally, like he was. Like it was even when he was in college, high school, everything, man. I mean, everything that preceded his name and everything, he basically stepped up to the forefront and showed everybody why he could be in the GOAT conversation. Don't make no sense. But go ahead, Brandon. My bad.
So now he's saying it's Kareem, but I'm with you. It doesn't make sense. What it sounds like, Rob, is trying to just play both sides of the fence, or maybe all three sides of the fence, right? He mentioned Jordan. He said Kareem's the best because of longevity. Well, now here we are, and LeBron's about to pass Kareem for a longevity record. Rob, with this, Rob, here's what I'll say about the longevity argument.
Hold up. Like a longevity record, like it's nothing. It's just nothing. Basically nothing. Like this record don't matter. It's just a longevity record. Like anybody could get it. It's just ridiculous. Let me keep going. These dudes.
That is not how we judge the greatest players of all time.
Who is we?
And I don't think that's how we should judge the greatest players of all time. So when LeBron passes Kareem, it won't mean he's better than Michael Jordan because he's got the scoring record. I mean, if that were the case, Karl Malone would be better than Michael Jordan.
All right. I don't know what is wrong with people. They don't realize what LeBron has accomplished in his career to think that he only scored points. Karl Malone has no titles, no finals MVPs, and 2 MVPs? Like his resume is not even close to LeBron James. And they always want to say that Karl Malone points makes him the great. No, LeBron scoring points does not make him the greatest of all time. Michael Jordan scoring points did not make him averaging 30 points per game did not make Michael Jordan the greatest player of all time. So what are they talking about? Points do not make someone the greatest player of all time. What Kareem accomplished in his career, his points, all-time leading scorer, that did not make him the greatest of all time. His whole career, including the all-time leading scorer, made him the greatest in a lot of people's minds. But let me keep going.
Well, I want to say something on that. It's like that's what we hear on our side all the time. That's the reason why. That's why
that's the nail in the coffin. That's the nail in the coffin. He has accomplished all these things. Once he gets that's the nail in the coffin. Not only because of the points, because of everything that he's accomplished. Just like I stated before, he's in the top 10 in all of these categories, and these players are beneath him.
But hold on, wait. But
your criteria,
wait.
These are the top 10 of the greatest criteria of all time.
But that's what I'm saying.
That's about your criteria. Yeah,
but that's the bias we're talking about, because what Chris Broussard is trying. Yeah, because what Chris Broussard is trying to say is that these don't matter because it doesn't matter. That's what they're saying. Blocks, they don't matter.
All defensive teams, all NBA teams, all stars.
He's saying total stats. What he's saying is total stats.
Yes, but LeBron has more than just stats. That's what no one believes.
He said, we don't judge by that. That we is Michael Jordan fans. It's not basketball fans. It is not a actual basketball concrete fact that people do not go by totals. That's what y'all don't understand.
I've heard
from Michael Jordan. For Michael Jordan fans, we have to do that because that's the only way Michael Jordan can be the GOAT. We have to change the narrative so that Michael Jordan could fit this, because his totals don't really match. Because when Karl Malone passes you, when you never match Kareem Abdul-Jabbar here, you're never on top of nothing, then you got to say it's longevity. We just sat here last week and said every time I named longevity, it's not a negative, but here it is. We're trying to use longevity as a negative.
And you guys just continue. You just said it was Not a big. Okay, Ralph. Anyway,
No,
so
I said no. I said that the longevity is not a bad thing. I've always said that.
It is obviously if you don't want to
but
get the recognition
it's
it
not a good
deserves.
thing for LeBron. That's
I,
basically.
I
It's not a good thing for LeBron.
Yeah.
no. His longevity. I've always said he has the best longevity career ever. And I won't be. I don't think I'm gonna be alive to see another one that comes close to it.
Okay, so
All
let me
right,
ask you a question.
so this is like what they're saying, like only the scoring matters title. I mean, only the scoring title matters. But just like Magic and Jordan, he's the only one that when he came into league, he has the most MVPs, Finals MVPs, and titles than anybody, just like Jordan and Magic. So it's more than just scoring points.
Yeah, it's a whole totality of their career.
Yeah, he has had an amazing career. Like it's not just the points title. Like once he gets that, that's the nail in the coffin. All right, so all right, let's just keep going with these other dudes. What they gotta say again.
No
But
one
these
ever
what,
mentioned
second,
Karl Malone.
third now.
When was the last time Karl Malone was mentioned as the greatest player?
Rob, Larry Bird is like ranked, I don't know, 20 something. He's really low in terms of all-time points, but he's a top 10 player of all time.
They're literally trying to change the narrative to just points. They trying to discredit LeBron because he's about to become the all-time scoring leader. That's what they're doing.
Not just about that in the NBA, but what I'll say is this, Rob, and this is I believe the greatest players of all time in their respective sports or even at their positions. It is more about your peak and how high and your peak was. I think that we have to understand that it's not about longevity. Maybe it is with you, but it's not with most people. It hasn't been how we judge things historically. And LeBron, look, bro, we both have LeBron second to Jordan.
That makes no sense.
But I don't think it's arguable. Like Jordan's peak, I mean, his whole prime was obviously through the roof. But the peak was winning 6 championships in 7 seasons that he played. And the one, you really could go 6 for 6.
All right, so this is another load of BS that they continue to say that Jordan had the highest peak. Jordan did not have the highest peak of all time. He just did not. He did not have the highest peak. I don't know why they keep saying this stuff. The person who had the highest peak is Wilt Chamberlain. In 7 years, he's talking about Jordan in 7 years had the highest peak. In 7 years, Wilt averaged 40 points a game, 25 rebounds, and PER of 30. That's the highest peak of all time. But then he said, okay, his titles. Bill Russell in 7 years won 7 titles. He was the defensive win share leader for 7 years, so he should have won Defensive Player of the Year. 7 years straight. Titles, 7 titles. He won 4 MVPs at that time. And just look at those finals numbers. He would have won 6 out of those 7 finals MVPs in those years if those awards were given. So his argument for Jordan is not correct on both sides. On both sides, it's not correct. And if you want to go by his years in the playoffs, his championship years, if you look at the advanced stats, those 8 years compared to LeBron, 8 years when he won, LeBron 4 out of 8, Jordan was 6 out of 8. LeBron's statistically in advanced stats were higher than Michael Jordan those years. Even LeBron's PER was higher than Michael Jordan those years. So saying Jordan had the highest peak is just not correct. Jordan did not have the highest peak. You got they could say that they believe Michael Jordan played the best in their hearts because that's what they used to sit down on the TV and watch. But just going around here stating lies, complete bold-faced lies is not correct. You want to discredit everybody to put Jordan on top.
Oh, shoot.
Ridiculous. All right, let me just keep going with these dudes.
But hold on, before you go, please. I'm sorry, because I always told you, Brandon, when you see me put my hands over my head, the exposer is out. Bruh, all right, just right now, A Jordan fan wrote, Jordan is the only player with three peats. No, he's not.
I mean,
Scottie Pippen is also there with him. Listen,
Bill Russell
this
won 8 in a row.
idea, because I was just about to ask. I was just about to ask Ralph this because he brought up the longevity, and I was going to ask, okay, what is more important, to have the best longevity or to have the highest or the best peak? Because I didn't even know that was going to be brought up. I did not even know that. That's why I put my hand over my head, because I said, I can't believe he actually said this. And then he had the nerve to disrespect Pat Riley for using longevity, and then in turn and say, nobody goes by that. Nobody judges it that way. Just because you ignore the people who use longevity and who use real stats and use actual basketball acumen, that doesn't mean nobody's not saying it. So here it is. These are the guys that you guys run to. This is why Brandon's bringing this up, because Chris Broussard is a major figure. Stephen A. Smith is a major figure. Skip Bayless is a major figure. These people are on TV every day lying to you every day. And you guys call us fanboys, LeBron coats, all of this. And these are the people that are supposed to be the real journalists that give us real basketball information. And they do none of the sort. None at all. Just lie right there on TV. This is why we do what we do in Go James Kingdom.
And I do want to say Ralph and Craig do not do this. They're just taking the blood of these idiots.
I mean, just the confirmed photograph. You had to name 2 players to compare to what Jordan did. So that just let alone you.
I'm
with Russell and
showing that they're lying.
No, because if we take Larry Bird Bird's
that's
career,
what it showed me stats with Wilt and showed me championships with Bill Russell. That's
Jordan didn't do both. Jordan didn't do both.
One player doing both.
Matter of fact, they both did both, because and Wilt Chamberlain won a title. Okay, he didn't win as much, right? But what's it called? And his stats were there. His stats were there.
In 7 years, you got to go back 60-something years to find someone to do it. That's the whole point. Right?
It's like when I look at that, it's like you took two players. One did it. One had great stats, and then the other player had achievements. But you put them together, Jordan meshed it better, because like I said, Bill Russell, amazing winner. We understand that, but his stats wasn't up to
They were
the standard.
He had pretty big stats.
Yes, man. Averaging 16 and 22 is incredible. Stop it. Averaging 16 points and 22 rebounds per game.
22 rebounds is great. 16,
okay, then.
No.
All right. So only thing
16.
Jordan has is great is 30 points. 6 rebounds per game isn't great. 5 assists per game isn't great.
For a shooting guard, yes, it is.
Yeah, it's not. Well, 16 points for a center. 16 points for a center in that day was great, and also 4 assists for a center that
for a big man when you. No, you have plenty of big men that was scoring way better than that. What are you talking about?
Name him besides
you had Bob Petty. You had
Bob Petty was
afterwards.
You said big man.
No, I know a center. We're talking about center. We're talking about shooting a center, because point guards don't score like a shooting guard. So you got power forwards get the score. Power forwards were scoring then. Name the big center that was in his era that was scoring so many points.
For 2 players to average 20+ rebounds a game says a lot. It wasn't good.
There was other players that averaged 20 rebounds during their career, but they just didn't do it for the whole career. That's what makes Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain great. And that's great. Listen, 22 rebounds per game is just as great as 30 points per game, no matter how y'all want to see it. And that's what y'all don't want to understand. You guys believe your biases are facts. They're not facts. You can't praise points over rebounds and say that that's facts. You can't do that. You can't praise a short peak over longevity and claim it to be fact. It's not. It's your subjective biases.
Peak has to do with winning. That's what he means by the peak.
No. Because if that's the case, then, so why are we bringing up stats for Bill Russell then? Why are we bringing up Bill Russell's stats?
Because the whole totality of the career.
No, it's not the whole totality. He just said it's about winning. He just said now it's about winning.
The peak is about winning.
The peak. Okay, then so then exactly. So Jordan doesn't have the stats for the longevity, and he doesn't have the titles or the peak for in the peak. So how is Jordan the GOAT?
You just don't.
Okay, let's just move on. Let's
I'm
move
sorry.
on.
I'm sorry, bro. My bad, bro. I'm just saying.
Because the
Chris
seventh
Broussard's
season,
getting
he
that out
only
of me.
played 18 games, came straight from
That's when
baseball.
he came back straight from
Yeah, I mean, he
baseball and got
wasn't
knocked
himself.
out. Right.
Right. And so that peak, obviously LeBron can't touch. And the thing about the longevity, Rob, with LeBron, and we've talked about this before, but it can, and if you're talking about a GOAT argument, all right, if you're talking about a GOAT argument, LeBron's going to have, I mean, his individual numbers, total assists, total rebounds, total points, all that is going to be through the roof, particularly rebounds or points and assists. But if he's in his 20th year, Rob, if they don't win the championship this year, and it doesn't look like they will, he will have 4 championships in 20 years. Jordan has 6 in 15 years.
Right.
So they're at some point, I mean, if you play 22 great individual years, but only won 4 championships, that's not winning a whole ton.
He's making a great point for Bill Russell, but let me keep moving.
No, and that, Chris, the longer he plays, it actually hurts him because he's not winning championships.
I mean, I look, I think
And when I
the
say
guys
hurt,
that
I'm
will,
not saying this
right,
thing is like, I'm just saying when you try to make that case.
right.
If he played
24
24 years in the league, trying to, say play 20, and he won 4 championships, and the last X amount of years, and then you go from the time he won the 3rd one to the bubble, Chris, and the rest of his career, you start to look and go, he won 1 championship his last 11 years or whatever it is.
No, you're right, or 1 every 6 years.
They're like trying their like hardest to say that LeBron shouldn't be in the like GOAT debate because of titles. Like, it's a different era. Michael Jordan did not win any titles in the 2000s, 2010, 2020s. Just like Bill Russell didn't win titles in the 90s. So you can't compare those two. But you want to continue to pair LeBron titles to Jordan titles like they played in the same era. Like they literally sat there and played in the same era. So just like, I put this up before, like these are the players that all these Hall of Famers, solo, except what? John Stockton when he was older with Karl Malone. Like, he was winning these versus solo. It's going to be different. You're going to win more titles when you're Pippen and Jordan versus Gary Payton versus solo Barkley, solo Drexler, solo Patrick, solo Mourning, solo Mutombo. And he actually split with Shaq, but they won and got Rodman. So it's a lot easier to win when you're going 1-on-2 with the great players in their primes, not when they had Dwight Howard and Melo in year 18 or 19 at the end of their road, barely coming off the bench. But in their prime, it's going to be a lot different than LeBron going up against Duncan, Parker, and Manu, other than Manu Ginobili versus LeBron and Wade. It's just going to be different. But let's just keep it moving.
Won 6 and 15, and obviously 2 of those years he didn't even play, but 17 or 18 games because of injury in baseball. Then you're saying, okay, one guy won it every 2.5 years, another one every 5 years. That's what it is right now if LeBron
Russell 11 and 13
doesn't win it this year. So that's like, I just, Rob, I don't believe the longevity argument is how we determine GOATs.
I think it's got to be, it's not just amassing numbers, because you just made it up. The best example is Karl Malone. He was the 2nd greatest scorer and had a tremendous career, Hall of Famer, all that stuff. But nobody mentioned him because it's not points in a vacuum. And
not even in the top 10, right? He's not even considered in the top 10.
And he was 2nd, right? He played a long time. He scored a lot of points and was a hell of a player. Nobody's knocking him. But that argument, Pat Riley, I'm sorry, he came in with a soft, lame argument for Kareem. And I'm sorry, Pat, I know you're down in Florida and too much sun down there, but that argument did not work.
Right.
All right. So,
I actually see
like
that. There was a lot of stuff they said that you didn't have on there, but I seen that clip. I remember once you played it. Cause
What else do they have on there?
no, I would just remember because then that's what I remember when he brought up the Jordan incident about him retiring, and then after retiring, they put his jersey up. Basically the same thing I said, because I remember once you posted the video. But my thing is okay. So, like I said, there's nothing wrong with longevity. The longer you play, great. But my thing is, it's always the negative and the positive to playing it. Like, y'all say he's the greatest because he's about to be the all-time leading scorer, but then there's a whole bunch of excuses as why he has the most turnovers. It's you went to assist ratio. Y'all been a whole computer to understand why he has the most turnovers. You've never no clear cut where he's the worst ball handler in the world because of that. It's a whole
how ball handling means turnovers. Magic Johnson averaged more turnovers than LeBron.
You have to have the ball in your hand and turn it over, right?
Magic Johnson averaged more turnovers than LeBron.
See,
that doesn't mean that Magic is a bad. No, you saying that turnovers mean you can't handle the ball. Do that mean Magic Johnson can't handle the ball?
Obviously, if he couldn't, if he was turning it over too.
All right. Okay. So. Yeah,
but you just use average average to prove your point.
Let's not even use average. Let's not use average.
He just said that he averaged how much?
No, we can use averages. But if you're saying that LeBron can't handle the ball,
can't be the greatest scorer because he averaged 30 points, but don't have the
my question to you is Stockton a bad ball handler because he's second in assists and he's handling LeBron, so he's a bad ball handler. That's what you're gonna say right now on this show.
Anytime you turn the ball over, it's a turnover. You just happen to
do you actually know that you could turn the ball over without dribbling the ball?
You have the ball. You have to have possession of the ball.
You could pass the ball out of bounds. Someone could.
So what you're basically saying is, and Brandon's brought this up before, is that all the big men who have less turnovers are better ball handlers because they have less turnovers than guards.
That's what the numbers show. The numbers show.
No. That is your illogical way of seeing.
How is that illogical?
No, because when you look at
make any sense.
Because when you look at the top 10 list of the people who have the most turnovers, they are not bad basketball players. These are guys with high usage rates, and these are high playmakers. So when you play make, there is a chance and a possibility of turnovers because you know what? Teams play defense. Coaches strategize. So sometimes you might make a pass that you think is available and it's not. Or you might think a guy's going to be there and it's not.
A charge is a turnover.
Yeah, charge.
Mishandling the ball. Hey, Ralph, who's a better ball handler, Dikembe Mutombo or Michael Jordan?
Let's look at the stats.
No, Ralph, just tell me who's a better ball handler, Dikembe Mutombo or Michael Jordan?
Jordan.
Exactly.
Okay, Ralph.
See,
you don't believe what Craig is saying. All right. Okay.
Y'all want to use it. Like
we're using your narrative. We're using your logic.
He can't handle the ball. That doesn't mean
I said the turnovers. You have to have possession of the ball to turn it over.
And Mutombo has less turnovers. Mutombo has less turnovers than Michael Jordan. That means for you, he is a better ball handler than Michael Jordan.
He take care of the ball better than Jordan. Then.
Turnovers does not mean ball handling.
Now, if we went to assist to turnover ratio, now we're talking about who's a better ball handler because you understand what I'm trying to say, or like the high usage rate, right? You know what I'm saying? Because like Brandon said, the high usage rate is a negative. He can make a case that it's negative, but somebody could turn around and make a case that it's positive. Either way, at the end of the day, you're still being subjective. As long as you're trying to make something better than the next thing, you're being subjective. You're using your personal preference, and that's what you guys don't want to understand. Yeah, no, it's not. No, it's not.
Yes,
it's not
it
context,
is, man.
Okay.
Yes,
all right,
it is.
Right. All right.
All right. So this last thing that I want to add. Let me bring it up. It's a short clip. All right. So Mike Francesa, who's one of the renowned sports columnists, he stated this. All right.
Guys that stand out above everybody else.
Okay.
3 centers: Russell, Wilt, and Jabbar, and Michael and LeBron. To me, this.
All right. So he's basically saying that those are the top 5 players of all time, and I know a lot of people like to kick Wilt out of it.
Mike Francesa.
So yeah, they like to kick Wilt out of it for some reason, and they don't really give Bill Russell his like credit. But these are the top 5 players of all time. He said he didn't put him in like any order or anything. So when I did my unbiased top 5 by just going by the numbers, it was LeBron, Michael, Bill, Kareem, Wilt, which is, the same as his. And then when I did the video with the first ballot Hall of Famers, it was the exact same order as mine's. So I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything, but I think I know a thing or two about a thing or two with that. So
he's a columnist. He writes just like Chris Bouchard and everybody, right?
No, he is a long time sports
been,
reporter. He's from New York.
yeah.
He's a big time Knicks fan. You don't know him?
he's
You don't know
a
who
big
Mike
time
Francesca
guy.
is?
I know Mike Francesca.
Okay, I was gonna say that. Yeah.
Like,
I mean, again,
It's funny
he's
that
biased.
all
He's
of them,
biased. He's
all of
biased.
them have the same credentials. You know what I'm saying?
No, he doesn't. No, Mike Francesca actually has better credentials than Chris Broussard.
He actually did start watching basketball when Michael Jordan played. He was watching before, so it's a little bit different.
Francesca's been in the game a long
Chris
time.
Bouchard said the same thing. He started way before Michael Jordan was playing as well.
I mean, he didn't graduate college till the 90s.
Chris Broussard is like a couple of years older than me. He's like 45, 46.
Yeah, he didn't graduate college or
not to say Chris Broussard don't have credentials.
15.
Chris Broussard has credentials. He can vote for the MVP. He can vote for the All NBA team. All of that. He has credentials. Nobody's discrediting his career. We just discredited his lies and his myths. That's what we do.
Yeah, we just call him out on what he lied about. That's all. Nothing wrong with that. You lie, you get called out.
But so they're saying lies, but others that have LeBron up there is not telling lies.
Well, he
didn't say nobody was the greatest. I'm just saying his top 5.
Yeah,
and
he didn't have, and LeBron isn't his greatest.
5.
LeBron isn't Francesca's greatest of all time. Yeah. It's not. I believe it's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
What y'all think about Nick Wright?
I think Nick Wright is an advocate for LeBron.
Would you say he's a good advocate? He's good.
Yes, he's just as good as Chris Broussard is for Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
some of the things he say is a little bit ridiculous, but it's not as ridiculous.
A lot ridiculous. You say a lot of ridiculous stuff.
It's Chris Bouchard and Skip Bayless, and then it's Nick Wright and Shannon Sharp. Those 4 I just can't stand.
You gotta add Stephen A. to this too. Stephen A. says that Magic Johnson is ahead of Kobe Bryant, although Kobe Bryant has a better finals record than Magic Johnson. Then he'll sit here and tell you that Jordan is better than LeBron, and the only reason he's better than LeBron is because he has a better finals record than LeBron does. Yeah. So they like I said, you guys do this like Nintendo Mortal Kombat. It's 1-on-1, and you move it up the list. So, but
right, go ahead, Johnny. Go and start yours.
I mean, I do it more like the playoffs. You put them in brackets.
That's not how it works, though. That's not how it works. But
I mean, you can compare everybody. I mean, you have to do so many comparisons, and you see.
No, again, I gotta tell people you could have your biases, but just know that that's what it is. That's all we tell you. You can't. Nobody tell you can't have it. So we're gonna talk about like this list right here because we get this brought up all the time, right? Because I get heard that Michael Jordan's the GOAT because the major media, the major networks, all the people like you say who have the highest credentials say that Michael Jordan's the GOAT.
The NBA.
No, you don't want to go to the NBA because the NBA doesn't have an all-time ranking list. They don't have one, so they don't
need
that.
to. They did it with the awards.
No, they didn't. But either way, it just as funny as this, right? We have the Michael Jordan fans saying that LeBron has 7 assists per game and 3.5 turnovers per game, which is above 2 or 1 assist to turnover ratio. If you go to Michael Jordan, it's a negative 2-to-1 ratio, which means Michael Jordan's actually the worst ball handler. But we're going to talk about the mean
based on average, but we don't do averages. We do totality.
No, not by average. Based on assist to turnover ratio. Based on
how do you determine assist ratio?
They do that.
How many assists? By the total assists you have and the total turnovers that you have. So every time LeBron passes the ball for 2 assists, he gets 1 turnover.
That's an average. So he averages 2 assists.
That's a ratio. That's a ratio. That's
an average. He get average 2 assists before it's a turnover.
Okay, whichever. Listen, like I said, I don't need to go to that. I can just say that he's a better ball handler by having 10,000 assists, but you guys tell me that don't count either.
That's perfectly fine.
All right, so like this is the thing I would like to bring up because I get this always been brought up, and we've, like I said, we done killed this conversation a long time ago. I done exposed all of this nonsense a long time ago. This is 6 different networks with 6 different lists for the top 10 of all time, and ESPN has actually changed theirs since this has been out. But The thing about this is that out of all 6 lists, nothing on these lists are actually the same besides Michael Jordan being number 1. So you have 6 different criterias, but somehow all 6 criteria still make Michael Jordan the GOAT. And I would love for anybody to explain to me what these criteria are. No one's ever been able to explain to me what any one of these networks' criteria are and why they have the players listed as they have them listed. But if we go to the next graph, it shows you where everybody is at, if you can bring that one up. So I just wanted to show where everybody is listed at in general, right? So if you look at it, you have Jordan. He got all 6 first place, right? And then you got Kareem, LeBron, Magic, Wilt, Larry, Bill, Duncan, and Shaq. Now, Kobe, Akeem, and Wes was selected twice on these lists, and then Big O was selected once. But these are where all these guys placed at on all these different lists for their careers. You see what I'm saying? So you can see where LeBron and Kareem and obviously Jordan is always the topic for the GOAT discussion because they're usually in everybody's top 5. But again, this shows how crazy the criteria can be. But for some reason, it doesn't matter what the criteria is for all of these major publications, Jordan somehow still is the GOAT of basketball. So I don't know what they're using, whether it's the peak, whether it's the championships, whether it's the stats, whether it's the winning, the game impact, who knows what they're bringing up. But let's go to the first publication because I want somebody to help me understand this, okay? Oh, this is what I wanted to say also. Out of all these publications that we're bringing up, right? ESPN started in 1979. Their magazine started in 1998. Fox Sports Illustrated. Yeah, I know that. But Fox Sports started I'm just going to name them off. We can start, but okay. I'm just naming them off right now. Fox Sports started in 1994. Slam magazine started in 1994. Sports Illustrated is 1954. Bleacher Report is 2005, and CBS Sports started in 2002. But here is Sports Illustrated's top 10 list. Okay, they started in 1954. So we have Jordan, Kareem, Wilt, Magic, LeBron, Oscar, Larry, Russell, Wes, and Tim Duncan. I would love for anybody to help me. Just guess. This is not a right or wrong answer. What do you think was the criteria used to put this list together?
Is this an updated list? Because
it's off of that graph that we just showed. Because
but when was this graph made? This graph could have
been
2
years ago. 3 years ago. It was like 2.
So it's off of this graph, right?
It's off of this graph. Yeah, it's based off of this because
this is what they keep showing all the time. Basically.
This is what they keep showing all the time. I get this all the time.
To this because you don't know when these graphs was made.
Like I said, it was like 2 years ago. It was like 2 years ago. It was before the top 75. Because after the top 75, ESPN put Oscar Robertson in their top 10 somehow and knocked off Akeem and knocked Shaq back. But we're not going to talk about that for now. I just want to know what criteria they're using because, again, you guys love to use these media people because I use facts. I'm going to say y'all.
Yeah, you guys going to have to just explain it to us. Like, I want to know.
Y'all use media too when y'all naming the Hall of Famers and everything.
No, Hall of Fame is not it's not just the media.
Hall of Fame
it's an acclimate. It's an action.
That's what the media vote on, though, man.
But it's an accomplishment.
You said you don't use.
No.
You said you don't use media. That
no. That's not what we just said. I said being on the SI top 10 list is not an accomplishment. Being in the NBA the Basketball Hall of Fame, the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame is an accomplishment. That's like,
but it's still media regardless. It's like you're challenging this media stuff, but when you do
I'm not challenging media. I'm challenging you using the media. Because we don't have to go to Hall of Fame to show that LeBron James is great or have better competition. We can stick to just the normal basketball stuff, and y'all don't like that argument.
Yeah, just used it on like 3 shows ago.
What do we use? What
you use the Hall of Fame? Who chose LeBron or Jordan and everything?
Okay, and again,
that's Hall of Fame, and that's what's voted.
And that's also in response to the people who bring us the Athletics 117 player poll, who has Michael Jordan as the GOAT at 70-something%.
Yeah. Rob, you're gonna have to explain how that's the media, the Hall of Famers.
Because they play basketball. The media is the one that votes for the Hall of Fame.
Okay, they're not. We're talking about the first ballot Hall of Famers.
That the media votes for that.
What that has to do with that's not
like you're using this for the media, but It's
Clyde
like
Drexler is not a part of the media. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
how did he became a first ballot Hall of Famer? How did he?
By being a great basketball player.
Who voted him as a first ballot Hall of Famer?
The Hall of Fame panel.
Which is
the Hall of Fame panel.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
It's the media, man.
I don't think it's just
okay,
media.
but he's not the media.
It's not.
He's not the media.
But it's not just
that's like saying Jokic is the media because he won the MVP. That just does not make any sense.
No.
Yes, I understand that doesn't make sense. You're agreeing that doesn't make sense. Right?
You're not making sense because
Jokic is
the
not
media
the media.
that chose them to be the first ballot.
All right, so here's your answer. The same criteria they determine who's a Hall of Fame. That's how they made this list.
Okay, that's fine.
No, hold on, wait, no, that's not.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, so then go to the next list. Then go to the next list. So go to the next list. Go to the next list. This is an opposite list. This is a completely different list. The only person that's in the same spot is Kareem and Jordan. How did they make this list then?
Whoever, if that's the media, the same media who voted for Hall of Fame, the same criteria. That's
the media made the list.
The media made the list. The media determined who's Hall of Fame. So if you got a great the media.
No, I just want to know how being on this list makes you a great player. I know how being on the Hall of Fame makes you a great player.
They take their career from that time period.
You're not deflecting anything, because for me, when you say somebody's a Hall of Famer, I understand that. But what you can't do is explain this and what makes this
because the media voted the same thing.
No, they did it. No, they did it.
Oh
because
so you know this.
You know this. You're not making sense, bro.
I do make sense. The media, listen, the media is not the only people who vote for Hall of Fame. You guys really think only the media votes for Hall of Fame?
It's only like four former players on that panel. I looked it up. It's only 4.
There's no
out of 51. It's 51. And everybody else are executives and media.
Okay, executives. Also executives. This is not executives here. This is not executives or players.
Executives and media.
This is all media.
Out of the 51 people that's on the panel,
the media,
4 of them are players. Steve Smith, it's Grant Hill, and 2 others I can't remember.
On the Hall of Fame panel.
Yes.
Okay.
They're on the Hall of Fame panel.
The executives means that there's not just the media, correct?
It's half and half. It's media and executives.
So you're saying that it's 20%, 20 media and 20 executives, exactly the even amount? Are you sure of that? Do you know exactly who's
not 100%?
What media is voting?
But
who gets the vote? What media credentials? Is it ESPN writers? What writers are getting these votes?
Well, the ones that we like, the Chris Bouchards, those people that vote.
I don't think they're on the Hall of Fame.
They get a vote.
No, again, the idea of you trying to discredit Hall of Fame is funny, because we're not trying to discredit Hall of Fame.
No, I'm not discrediting the Hall of Fame. I'm just answering your question.
We're not discrediting the media either. We're asking you if you're going to use the media's top 10 list, not their Hall of Fame list, because again, if you want to start using Hall of Fame lists, you're going to lose the argument, obviously, because LeBron James has faced tougher competition through Hall of Fame, everything. Like, there's nothing you can bring up when it comes to Hall of Fame. That's what I'm saying. Everything we do when we're
going in another direction. I'm not saying that. I'm answering the question that you said.
So go to ESPN, since everybody loves ESPN's list, and it's changed in 2 years. So ESPN and ESPN's list, and
everything changed
before what's it called? Before the top 75 list came out. This is their list. After their top 75 list, LeBron jumped Kareem. Shaq got bumped to 10. Akeem got knocked out, and Big O came up. So what criteria were they using when they made this one, and then when they did to revamp the list?
Hire younger execs.
That's going to put in Oscar Robertson instead of Stephen Curry or Kobe. What younger generation is going to throw in Oscar Robertson?
That made the list died off in the new list.
I mean, these are the questions that you're asking.
You asking people that I don't use these lists. I don't post them. I don't even say anything when people post them because it's stupid to me.
I'm glad. We're glad that you said it, because that is the whole point. Again, this is the whole point of what we do here every day. We use the logic that is used against us all day. Listen, we use the logic that is used against us all day.
But
these logics are literally flimsy. They're so flimsy. It's easy to just expose.
Johnny, you're asking us a lot of questions that we don't have the answers to. Like we don't know. We don't know what criteria. Why are you
All I know,
asking us
somebody
that?
could have made
It's
a
not like
meeting
we're
with
next to
ESPN
them
and
and
made
like,
this
hey,
shit
what you doing?
themselves.
You
Yeah,
guys
why
all
you
think
asking us
alike.
no
You
questions?
guys all think alike.
No,
So
that's a
we
lie.
have to ask you guys.
That's a lie.
Okay.
I can make a
No,
meme
Well,
we
right
I
done
now
think-
that
told
says
you
I
week
think
to
LeBron is the
week.
GOAT. I bet you every LeBron fan will post it. I can make a fake meme
Okay.
and say LeBron is the GOAT with a 10-time list, and I'll bet you everybody will post it.
Yeah.
So,
My thing is, it's like everything that y'all hear. Do you hear us saying the same thing?
No, you're not.
Sometimes.
All right.
No,
Well,
but you're
probably a
here.
little bit. Probably
Hold
about
on.
5%, maybe.
But
say
you
But
like-
not all the dumb stuff. No, you don't hear us
But
saying
you
that.
know-
So like
you
bringing
know
that
when-
to us,
No.
it's like bringing that to us. We can't really answer it because we're not saying it.
Listen. You guys know when you come on this show how
No,
Brandon and I
we're not.
are.
No.
You guys know how we are.
No.
We are going to bring it. We're going to, because listen, we hear it. Because all we want to do is talk about LeBron James' greatness. That's all we want to do. We cannot. Why? Because everything about LeBron's greatness has to be context. We have to use context. Let's use
He has
context.
to be discredited
Everything
for
gotta be
everything he do. Everything LeBron do, he has to be discredited. That's the problem.
No,
and I just
think-
don't understand it.
I
just
think
don't
all
understand
players need to have things in context. I believe in that.
Bro,
Okay,
you-
well, let
Have
me
you read the
play
comments?
this.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, let me play this clip again.
Are talking about the best scorers of all time. Let's remember there are people like Wilt Chamberlain that average 50 points in a season. There are people like Michael Jordan that have 10 scoring titles. And we start talking about the all-time greatest players of all time. Yes, I'm going to acknowledge LeBron needs to be in that conversation. But when we bring up four-time champion and four-time MVP, I want to remind people that's less than Kareem, Russell, what they've accomplished.
Kobe, Magic.
It truly is. When we start talking about the
Just
best
like I said, like we can't even acknowledge LeBron James without trying to discredit him. Like what does that have to do with LeBron becoming an all-time leading scorer? This is
like I said,
every day.
Y'all asking
every
questions
single
that
day.
we can't answer.
Hey,
That's
what
not
up?
what
Every
we
single
it-
day.
Hey, Weezy
it's
Bang, what
one
up? Hey,
thing-
Weezy Bang, what up? Hey, Weezy Bang, YouTube subscriber, what's good, brother? Thanks for joining us.
It's one thing if we said it and we are having a discussion, but those are they saying it.
Yeah, they
I
saying
mean, we
it.
can't answer that question. We don't talk with them.
But these are the same. You know
Let
what?
me text Jalen Rose, yo, don't be talking about LeBron like that.
Yeah, listen,
Yeah,
listen,
like,
it's not about.
come on, man.
It's
You're
not
like
about.
we can get-
Yo, man.
It's not about talking about LeBron. It's the fact that you know what? These are grown men who can't accept. They're in denial. They're really looking at greatness and witnessing greatness, and they're like, I can't accept this. Like, I have to find a way to make it seem like it's not great. Like, it's just all right. It's just LeBron James. He's just LeBron James. He's supposed to do this. This is what LeBron James was supposed to do. But what he was really supposed to do was have 6 titles or go 10-0 in the finals. Like, these are the things that they bring up when in reality, LeBron James winning 4 titles, no matter how many years he plays, it doesn't matter. He won 4 NBA titles. That is a lot. That is a lot. We're not doing it by seasons, bro. It's a lot. It's 4.
I just think it's funny that LeBron's about to become the all-time leading scorer, and the first thing that they could say is he don't have 6 titles.
No, what he said was
Kareem got more, Kobe got more,
Kareem
Magic got more.
Russell has more accolades. That's what he said. He didn't mention Jordan. He just said Kareem and Russell has more when it came to titles. He didn't mention Jordan. The only time he mentioned Jordan was the 10
when he
scoring.
mentioned, yeah, what he was basically saying was that if we want to, we can pick things that every player has that makes them the GOAT, right? We can go to the 10 scoring titles for Jordan. We can go to Kareem here. We can go to LeBron there. These are the things that we can all go to, but that's why there is no way to have this conversation, because we have yet to pick a true criteria to say, well, is 10 scoring titles more valuable than scoring 38,000 points? That's the argument. You guys are going to say it's
10
not.
Scoring titles means
exactly.
you was elite for 10 seasons. The score time you're scoring means you've been scoring for your whole career.
No, but you was elite against your competition all time
in
against
that era.
everybody. I mean, it doesn't matter who era it was. 38,000 means I was better than all eras. You're talking about being good for just one era.
No, I'm talking about being good. All you could say because no one else has done that either. No one's gonna get 38, whatever LeBron is.
So Craig,
no one's gonna dominate the season scoring for 10 seasons. So
what is more important? 10 scoring titles are the all-time leading scorer. Like which one is ranked higher for you? Like which one ranks higher than you?
They both. I would say the scoring title because you have to play for a certain amount of years to achieve it.
Okay.
So that would be more important. You could get 10 scoring titles without playing 20 seasons.
All right,
you can't
Rob,
get the all-time scoring record without playing 20 seasons. That's my whole point. You can get skin torn titles without playing for 20 seasons, but you can't get the all-time scoring record without playing for 20 seasons.
You can get 10 scoring titles when nobody else in your era can score. That's the point.
See, here's the excuses. Like
that's not the excuse. That is the fact. But that is the fact. Listen, Jordan's and between Jordan won 10 scoring titles, and only 2 players within that same 10 seasons only averaged over 30 points per game. That is it. He didn't have nobody to actually compete with. And when Michael
Jordan did that, 1990, I think.
He did it one, and Dominique Wilkins did it the other time. That's
not Jordan's fault.
But but that's
Jordan,
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But Jordan benefited from Jordan benefited from
he was able to score like that.
Because Jordan said that I'm going to take these amount of shots to score this amount of points per game, so I can outbeat everybody.
Whose fault is that?
That's not nobody's fault, but that's what I'm trying to
say.
All
right, then. I mean,
my thing is that doesn't mean just because he was able to do that, it's better than LeBron James averaging 25 for 18.
Well, you telling me every scoring title champion in LeBron era had an average 30 when they won the scoring title?
And LeBron's era, right now, LeBron James has 5 people that average more than 30 points per game more than he does.
I'm talking about the 20 seasons. So every season, someone who won the scoring title averaged 30.
Yes,
because I can show you Iverson winning it at
more than the 90s
per game.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Is winning 10 scoring titles? Okay, we're gonna do that. So LeBron James is not as great of a scorer, but is winning 10
I didn't say that.
My question is right. Listen, for you, the 10 scoring titles is better than the 38,000.
No, I did not say that. All I'm saying is I said the scoring, all-time scoring, because you have to play well for a certain amount of years.
Okay.
Because I said you don't need to play 20 seasons to win 10 scoring titles, but you need 20 seasons to score 38,000 points. That's what I'm saying.
No, because I was going to ask you what's better than 10 scoring titles or 11 rebounding titles.
Well, you need the points to win, right?
You need the rebound. You need the rebound. You need the rebound to have the ball. You need the rebound to have the ball to score. If you don't have the ball, you can't score.
Going in. There's no rebound if you're scoring.
No, I'm saying, but if you don't have the ball,
that's what my point with the 22 rebounds a game.
But you can't score without the ball. You cannot score without the ball.
Oh, I can tell you that Kobe Kobe ain't become a superstar until his 4th season. Like LeBron came in a superstar. So
I mean, listen. Again, a lot of players has played a lot of games. LeBron is top 10 in most games played. But he doesn't have the most shots. He doesn't take the most shots per game. He doesn't take the most shots in a season. He never led the league in field goals. He's actually, now I don't think he's going to lead it now, but I think it's per games he has the most now in today's NBA. But and this season. But the idea of what's more valuable or not is the problem, because like Brandon brought up his criteria, or he brought up his list. When he brought up that list that matched Francesca's list, it was based off of nothing was more valuable than anything other than championships. So he valued championships and making the playoffs more than anything. He gave that a little bit more extra. But other than that, it was all objective. And even at that, that's the greatest players you're going to have.
There were benchmarks set, though. That's what I'm saying.
No. This one, the unbiased, this is different. Brandon's criteria, the one that you're talking about.
That was made like probably
averages,
months ago.
Yeah, that was
totals.
That was our
stats.
I
included everything.
That was before we came.
That was us trying to show everybody that even if we take away our biases and we take away our subjectiveness, that this is how the list should look. And our list was kind of similar, because my top 5 was the same 5. It was the same thing.
Yeah, it was just in basically.
Well, I mean,
different order.
Everybody has their own criteria, and like it's gonna be like that when you siding with somebody that you think is a GOAT. I mean,
but it's sad though. Hold on, it's sad though that your boy Chris Broussard, Rob Parker, Stephen A. Smith,
Don't forget
Skip Bayless. They all
We
get beat.
don't claim Skip.
No, I don't know. I'm just saying.
We don't claim Skip.
He's the president of the Michael Jordan Association.
Don't
He is
bring
the
his
president.
name no more. No, we
He's
don't
the
claim
founder
him.
and president.
I'm gonna tell you, after what he did to Shannon Sharp, nah, you go.
That's what I'm saying.
No, even before that, I don't like his Jordan takes.
As that's what I'm saying. That's how sad it is because
Jalen
people
Rose
like
killed
Shannon Sharp and Nick Wright be killing these guys. And to be honest with you, Brandon and I are better than
not Nick
Shannon
Wright.
Sharp
Nick
and
Nick Wright and Shannon
No.
Sharp was together on the show one time. Skip said he would not come on with Nick Wright again because Nick Wright destroyed him because he didn't know what to say
Mark
other
Cuban
than a
destroyed
bad
him.
free throw shooter. Like Skip don't
I'm
really know what he's talking about. He watched Jordan play,
like
so
I
he think he
said-
know everything.
Like I said, we don't claim Skip. Don't even bring his name up no more.
Yeah, I'm like I said, it's again, the conversation is very easy because, like I said, everything that Jordan fans use to make Michael Jordan the GOAT literally makes someone else the GOAT. But if they do it on a one-to-one basis, yeah, Michael Jordan could be the GOAT. Because, like you said, if it's against Russell, we'll go to stats, and if it's against Wilt, we'll go to accomplishments. If it's LeBron, we'll go to peak. You know, if it's Kobe, we'll go to teammates. You know what I mean? If it's Magic or Kareem, it's they played together. You guys will always find something, and it will never really fit your narrative because if you use the whole context of everybody, whatever it is that you have Michael Jordan as the GOAT, he will not be your GOAT. Someone else would be.
You literally just argue me that because he was the reason why you. It's like I always say, y'all use the competition as excuse to why Jordan accomplished things, but everyone else like.
No, just
No,
the
that's what
6
you
rings.
guys use
Like,
for
instance,
Bill
Russell
Russell.
traded
That's what y'all
playoff
use for
series
Bill
to win a
Russell, so
title.
we turn around on y'all.
Yeah,
Like
y'all say
this-
that about Bill Russell. When we tell you Bill Russell has 11 championships, the first thing you say is who did he play against? 8 teams.
I don't say who. I say that's
Which
amazing.
is 8
Look, y'all have
teams is
I say
harder
y'all
to
have
win
go all the way
versus
back
30.
to the 60s to compare someone to what Jordan was
And
doing.
I got to go all the way back to the 90s.
Wait, hold
to
up,
compare LeBron.
hold up. This is what I hear all the time. Michael Jordan won 30 years after Russell. LeBron, 30 years after Mike. Like, it's the same thing. It's like, it's not really a big difference. We're comparing different eras. It's going to be decades between them anyways. So that's not really an argument.
And the rules in those decades makes it different as well because I mean there were different rules in the 60s.
Oh, you want me to
there
break?
were different rules
I
in the
forgot
90s.
all about that.
Now that you see, Ralph, see, this is why we love you, Ralph. Ralph, you are the
All
man.
about that.
You are always welcome on this show. We talk on a personal level. We talk on a GOAT conversation. Brandon, give him the facts about the rules again. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He said they had to change the rules for me so I couldn't dominate. And this is Wilt Chamberlain speaking. He said they changed the rules for you, Jordan, so you can dominate.
The league decided that they wanted to clean up the game, get rid of some of the physical contact. The league decided that they wanted to clean up the game, get rid of some of the physical contact, get rid of some of the physical contact, get rid of some of the physical contact, clear out the lanes, clear out the lanes. Clear out the lanes so
It's like
that
a scary movie.
the great players, the great athletes.
Yeah,
could
but the
drive to
lanes are not
basket.
cleared up.
So that the great players, the great athletes could drive to the basket.
See,
That
like,
was
one person
geared more to help Michael Jordan and the Bulls. That was geared more to help Michael Jordan and the Bulls. That was geared more to help Michael Jordan and the Bulls. And it was certainly the kind of legislation that did not help the Detroit Pistons.
The lane is not clogged.
Maybe because the way he was
clogged.
treated in the league, but he's carrying, it's about who would you come see? Would you come see Rick Mahorn or would you come see Michael Jordan?
He's right
he can
about
fill
that.
the seats up.
Exactly.
That's a fast break.
That's a foul, though?
That's a fast break.
Is that a foul?
Of course not.
Nah, that's not a foul.
Okay, they called it. They called it, though. They called it. So
That's not a
okay.
foul.
So again,
We could point out with LeBron as well.
No, I'm not
When?
bringing up. Listen, I'm not bringing up nothing.
So it's
This is-
players that get that as well.
This is facts. This is facts. The NBA changed rules to help Michael Jordan because, again, Michael Jordan did not have the physical ability to continually get to the rim. If he kept going to the rim, it was going to be a problem for him. He could not win that way. Jordan's mid-range jumper was not going to be enough to win. The league changed the rules to literally take away physicality so that Michael Jordan could have free lanes to the net. Again,
the only person that can shoot and drive to the rim.
Yes, because the only other the only other person
what they're talking about is killing them.
Who the only person of that
what they're
era?
talking
The only person of that era that had the ability to do what Michael Jordan could do was Scottie Pippen and Clyde Drexler. Name me the other player that had the driving capability of Michael
Dominique.
Jordan. But he got hurt in 92, 90. He got hurt in 92.
He got hurt in 90. Yeah, he was almost done.
That's what I'm saying.
Like
but
92.
That's what I'm saying.
Nah, I think he was still top.
Because he was good in 91 and 92. And they went their furthest in the 90s. They went their furthest in the 90s. So let's keep it correct. Because in the early 80s, I mean the late 80s, Atlanta wasn't winning nothing. They went their furthest in the 90s. And he got hurt like in 93. Yes. Again, so you named 4 players. Again, it helped those 4 guys.
And 2 of them was on the same team.
It's funny that he's saying they opened up driving lanes and they showed a video where the driving lane was not open.
No, it opened up driving lanes because no longer can I use a big man to block you and keep you from, because now Jordan's athleticism or Clyde Drexler's athleticism or Scottie Pippen's athleticism could go over you. I can go around you. And that's why now I can't be physical with you anymore. That physicality of knocking you to the ground is no longer available because now
you can't kill him.
No, who got killed?
No, that's a figure of speech, man.
Exactly. So that's a false figure of speech.
Who actually got hurt? Who actually got hurt? Who got hurt? Who got close line?
So
when did Jordan have a scratch on him? Because they didn't let him.
Somebody in the face. We didn't see.
That was
a 70s.
That's a punch. That was a fight.
No.
That was
what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when they said what he's talking about, they implemented flagrant foul. That's what changed everything. So that's what they're talking about. You didn't get a flagrant foul.
They didn't like if someone else get foul hard, they're not going to call
that benefited everybody though. It didn't benefit Jordan.
It benefited Michael Jordan more.
It benefited everybody because if you did that, you get a flagrant foul.
Because not everybody was as fast as quick as Michael Jordan, which I told you before.
Is that his fault that he's fast and quicker than everybody?
Well, that's why. No, but again,
for him.
But it's an advantage to him because my counter to him being faster and quicker was being physical, which is what you guys want the players to be able to do today. And
No, we never said that.
Rob,
we never said that. No,
you said that if players can be physical on the players today, their quickness and things would not matter.
I'm saying the physical part. I'm not talking about like clotheslining people or anything like that.
That
was the rule change that made it less physical.
No. Clotheslining was players didn't get clothesline for a flagrant foul. If I knocked you to the ground, it was a flagrant foul. I didn't have to clothesline you to get a flagrant foul. A hard foul was considered a flagrant foul. It changed the way defenses could play.
But everybody's benefiting from that. You saying it just benefited from Jordan?
Yes, everybody benefited after Jordan because now after Jordan,
so Jordan had no flagrant.
So is everybody in the NBA benefited?
I would see no other NBA player with a flagrant foul. That's what you're telling me?
No, before 1991, there was no such thing as a flagrant foul. It was
it wasn't.
But you got 2 free throws and that's it. You got 2 free throws and that's it. You went to the free throw line. You hit 2 free throws.
What I'm saying is, you making it seem like Jordan was the only person in '91 to get a flagrant foul called on him.
No, I'm telling you that the rules.
He's the only player that it can benefit for.
And the rules were changed because they wanted to allow Michael Jordan's style of basketball to be the premier style of basketball.
Why
they wanted to
Michael Jordan
because Michael Jordan was it wasn't everybody.
Yes, everybody did benefit. If I pull down Mitch Richmond, that's a flagrant foul. He get to shoot flagrant fouls, right? It benefited everybody.
Mitch Richmond does not have the athleticism that Michael Jordan has or Clyde Drexler has.
That's really why missing my point.
That's why later on guards could but like this. If Michael Cooper could have had those rules, Michael Cooper probably would have been a better offensive player because Michael Cooper said, I can't go to the paint. Because if I go to the but that's the advantage. Again, we agree with you. It helped everyone after Michael Jordan. And when from 1991 and on, anybody who was athletic enough to get to the rim got an advantage because you couldn't really be physical with them. Again, but that is what you guys down today NBA players for playing in a league that's set up like that.
No. We're not talking about that league.
It's the same thing. The physicality. Listen, the physicality was ruled out with flagrant fouls, not with hand checking.
What I'm saying is,
okay, then. So then Michael. Okay, so Michael Jordan's the reason why players can't be physical. That's the reason why players can't be physical.
He was so good, he had to get clotheslined in the air for them to make a change. If you want to say it like that, he was better than everybody. When they couldn't play ball, they had to
did that to everybody. Jordan wasn't physical enough. That's the problem. Being faster and smaller.
What you want him elbow Mike Duncan? Like, come on.
That's what Dr. J did. That's what Dr. J did. That's what Dr. J did. Right?
We're not talking about that type of physicality.
Listen, what's his name? Isaiah Thomas had to go to the lane. He knew he was going to get hit. Every player who played in that era understood you go to the lane, you get hit unless you were man enough to take it. Don't go there. That was the rule.
We know that. We're not disagreeing with that. We're not talking about that physicality though. We're not talking about the elbows and
so what
karate chopping somebody over the head.
Just a hand checking.
Bringing that back. That's what we're talking about. The hand checking to where it would be more difficult to get off shot.
The flagrant is once the shot put up. That's what it's already on. You're gonna foul.
In 1991,
you're not gonna flagrant foul someone that's dribbling the ball.
No, and exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So again, so if I'm
Robert Horry did it. You can. Robert Horry did it against Steve Nash. So
if you have X McDaniels and Anthony and Anthony Mason and Oakley and Rick Mahorn, no, these guys have no skill level to an impact on the offensive side of the ball, and their only true effect on the basketball game is to be physical, and they no longer can do that anymore. So and that's why the NBA that's why the NBA exactly that's why power forwards changed from being some 6'4" Charles Barkley to some 7-foot Tim Duncan or Kevin Garnett who can shoot the ball and be more skilled, because it's no longer relying on your athleticism anymore and your all this other. You have to be skilled, and today's NBA
Charles
is skilled.
Barkley was skilled, man.
I know he was, but he used a lot of his physicality, dribbling the ball 7 times in 10 seconds.
Well, he changed the game as well, because you can't back down more than 5
seconds. Either way, they changed rules for Jordan. That's the facts, and they stopped. They stopped Wilt Chamberlain because Wilt Chamberlain
rules to make some money, man.
You can say that about Wilt Chamberlain. He had the advantage to where he was able to go 10, and the lane was smaller.
No, but they changed the rules because of that, though. That's what I'm saying. They changed the rules.
Yeah, that's why I said what I said. I mean, each era, you have different. Some people benefited from the rule changes.
I mean, it happened. What Boston did to KD in the playoffs, that was physical with him. You couldn't get up a shot. He wasn't hurt. They wasn't clotheslining.
They was
exactly.
With him.
They
exactly.
They let him play.
They were able to be physical with him because what? They were quicker, they were faster, they were able to get to the spots. They were playing a zone defense. So when he was able to screen, they were switching. They do strategy. They have a lot of strategy. It wasn't just them.
Yeah, they played zone. Yes, man, he couldn't go nowhere. Somebody was always there. They was playing zone.
I can't voice my opinion on that because I didn't watch too much.
Listen, you guys
just watch the highlights.
Pay attention to the NBA TV games when they show them again, because they give you the players when they mic'd up, man. Listen to what the players are saying to one another when they're on the basketball court. These guys have defensive scouts and strategies, man. These guys literally know if KD catch the ball here, we need you to be there, that guy to be here. If they do a pick here, you switch here, you drop there, you go high here. These are things that these guys sit down and strategize day in and day out, bro. Like these.
Well, it's great. It's great that we hear it now. I mean, they've always done that, even
that's
back
what I'm
in
saying.
The 60s.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Though.
We got the technology to actually hear them, and it's like really.
I'm just saying they have a more variety of options today because of the zone defense, so they can keep him from driving to a certain lane.
You don't just have to sit there and play a 2-3 zone. Like that's what people don't understand. They just think the zone is 2-3
or 3-2.
That's the problem.
They
just think it's just a 2-3 zone. Like no, you're zoning the area.
Not really being played like that.
Ralph,
that's what people think. You're zoning the area.
Ralph, how much of that game did Miami play zone against y'all? Was it 4%?
I ain't gonna lie. I just saw the final score and I bragged on you.
Oh,
I didn't watch the whole game.
oh, you know what? Listen, if you watch the Heat play, bro, we actually play what Brandon said. A lot of 2-3 zone.
Well, if y'all played that zone against
lot.
us, I mean, I can see it because we're not a 3-point shooting team.
No, but guess
So
who y'all
I
brought on the floor?
expect
But guess who y'all brought on the floor? Fournier. Fournier got more minutes against us because he could shoot threes. That's the, he
But he been trash all year. Don't
I
even
know
mess
that,
with
but
him.
he's a threat. The scouting report says if Fournier's out on the corner, you better get somebody on him. That's what the scouting report tells you. Am I right, Brandon? Am I not Brandon? Right? Am I right?
I wouldn't even say that.
He said they changed the rules for LeBron in 04 and 05. This guy
Actually, it was
Yeah.
changed in the
Yeah,
03,
if-
04. Yeah, it was changed in 03, 04. And it
Yeah,
wasn't
changed
before
in 04,
LeBron.
05. It was 04, 05. That's true. It was 04, 05.
You talking about the hand
04.
checking? No, that was 03.
Yeah, it was 04. It was the summer
it was
of
04, 05.
Yeah, it was
It was
04,
04.
It was 03, 04. It's his rookie season.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
So if they changed the rules for
My
LeBron
bad,
at 19 years old, you know, that says
that's-
something about how great LeBron is.
Now changing the rules for players, how great you are as a player.
Listen,
Don't tell them what other comments are saying. We don't know.
No,
Y'all
listen,
bringing
listen.
them up.
But look, but you see how Brandon did that, right? But that's because if you don't know nothing, right, you can easily say, well, shit, they changed the rules before Wilt Chamberlain even entered the league. It was like, oh, you can't do that.
They changed
debating
on that rule years
They changed
before
the free throw.
it
They
came.
changed the they changed the free throw rule before Wilt Chamberlain entered the league because he was doing the free throw where he
was
take
able to jump.
take two
He was
steps and
able
lay
to
it
jump
up.
over it.
Yeah, he was able to take two steps.
And the same thing with out of bounds. I mean, they were able to jump in and pass it, so they changed those rules as well. So it's like.
But that's what I'm saying.
No.
But you see how simple those criteria can be debunked if you're not really just using real basketball acumen, which is what they do. That's why Brandon and I stick to stats and accolades. We never denounce no accolades, no matter if they were media votes or not. We accept the MVPs, the Finals MVPs, Defensive Player of the Year, All NBA.
Just not
all
the name of the MVPs.
No, we do. We know Michael Jordan has 5 and LeBron has 4, but that doesn't mean that. You know what I'm saying?
It's like
it's the totality of everything. We have to count everything. Yes, Jordan has 5. He has 6 here. He has 6 there. But then there's other parts where Jordan's lacking at. So across the board, when we measure everybody, LeBron is everywhere, man. He's everywhere. Like y'all say, his totality.
LeBron 4 and 6.
Look, even this 4 and 6. That is all subjectiveness. For you to think that 6 finals losses is worse. So you're telling me 4 and 0 is better than 6, 4 and 6?
Not me, man.
No, I know he said it, but he listens to us every week. This guy comes on our show every week, and he listens to us and still wants to argue this 4 and 6. We still hear it every day after we've been exposed it 100 times.
Even Dr. J said that's a pretty amazing thing that he could go to 10 finals. But you know, fans always think differently.
No one says competition and how many finals. No one. It's greatness because he made 10 finals. But if someone wins 6 finals, it's because of their competition. This is mind-boggling how the world thinks that way.
No, not really. Not really.
We get that.
We just
that
show
on
the
that.
competition.
Well,
We just
I
show the
got a
competition.
question though. Like when that's said, what do y'all have to say about that?
What, the 4 and 6?
About
No. When is the 6 and 0 with the weak competition and all that? What you got to say about that?
We bring up the competition because that's what's told us about LeBron making 8 straight finals, right? Because he's told that he made 8 straight.
No. I'm saying when it's stated that 6 and 0, when it's 6 and 0 weak competition, when they say that, what do y'all have to say about that?
Well, we
I
would
always say
tell
that
you-
he dominated his era.
That's it. Yeah. That's
And LeBron had a
I'm glad I hear that.
I bring up
I'm
the
glad
players.
I hear that.
Listen,
And I bring
we
up the
always
players
say
like
that.
this is why Jordan dominated his era because he was going.
He had the best team.
Long as you're not
tag teaming
decided,
on solo.
You see how I do that? We don't put you into the same category as those idiots.
Yeah, but I'm saying, no, I
stop
got
putting
you.
us in there, and we're not taking one for the team. So stop doing that.
So y'all gonna have to give up your seat so we can start exposing other people, man.
No, you know what you trying to do that for?
You know,
they could come on here just like you said, but if they gonna act stupid, they gotta go. We're not gonna have what we had a couple of weeks ago. Nah, we ain't doing that.
Well, look, like we said, a lot of stuff.
And also with you guys, if y'all think a Jordan fan needs to leave, just send me a message and I'll just kick him off.
Oh, I was like, why we have
All
to
right,
send
yeah,
a message?
because
I'll blink twice, you know.
You blink twice.
Yeah, because I can't send you a message on.
Like I
You
said,
know, I'm
hey,
going
listen,
off my phone.
if y'all see me do this, y'all already know I'm transforming. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. The only person that can hold me back is Brandon. But y'all, it's been a good show though. We went past an hour, man. Like I said, man, we listen. We like to have fun to just talk basketball. We like to bring up this media stuff because it's great to hear the media because this is the people we go to. But I find it funny though that the most of y'all Jordan fans do not like NBA TV. You don't go to the NBA.com website unless it's for 30 points per game. But again, you know, the media is biased. We know they're biased. But it's sad, man, that sometimes these guys just be bringing up stuff just to discredit. You know, like I said, Brandon talked about this. They were going to discredit the whole all-time scoring leading record thing. They were going to do it. We're only 36 points away. Does he do it next game or does he do it?
I think he'll do it next game.
Yeah,
Who they play
he's
next
gonna
game?
do it
Like 45. He going totally destroy it. He gonna have more than 30.
Oh yeah. He'll get it. He'll get it that game.
That's what
But
tomorrow.
they playing in Oklahoma City.
I wouldn't be
No,
surprised
it's
if he do it with a
They play at
triple
home
double.
Tuesday.
I have a
What I
feeling he's
said-
gonna drop like a 40-point triple double.
So wait, so what do you guys think
He playing OKC,
is going
right?
to be the shot
Yeah, that's a
that
triple
breaks the
double.
record? What do you guys think he's going to do?
I might
say-
do the hook shot.
I say it's
I'm
a
gonna
free
tell
throw.
you right now.
It's a free
If he
throw.
breaks that record and lose, you know I'm a rant like crazy. That
It's gonna be a
he
dunk.
better win. That's all I gotta say.
Man,
I mean, he
nobody
should
care
be
about
able to
Lakers
win
winning.
Hey,
against
But
them.
I think he's going to break the record shooting like logo 3 because that's going to be like this is the shot that broke the record. It's going to be 8 logo 3.
It's gonna
That's
be
what
a
he's
free
going to try to
a
do.
logo 3.
It's gonna be a
Yeah.
free throw. It's gonna
It
be a
would be
free
great
throw.
if that shot would be the game-winning
Yeah.
shot.
It ain't going to be
Like
like a shot.
2 seconds left. The
Whatever.
buzzer
No,
beater.
y'all don't want that. Y'all don't want that, man. If they call
Listen
us a
here.
coat, if they call us a coat for what we
I
do now,
don't
after
care
this, it's a
what
wrap.
shot it is. You better win the game. That's all I gotta say.
I
Because it's
mean,
gonna look bad. He break that record and lose.
It's
That's
true.
that's
true.
that's a
That's true.
narrative
But he
that
should win.
that
I
that
give
they,
you that.
they would say that
He should
LeBron in
win.
year 20 have to win every game.
Look.
But it's cool.
Look, the same.
No,
look,
I ain't saying that. I'm saying,
listen.
yo, you're breaking a very this is
The greatest
biggest-
record.
Look,
It's not even
the-
about them winning or losing. It's
I'm
about
not
him
even
breaking
saying
the record. But
the
it's going to be
greatest
about
record.
him losing if he does
It's
lose.
the hugest milestone out of all of them, and for him to break it and lose, I'm getting on you. You know what? I'm gonna be a troll. I'm gonna be a troll that day.
Yeah, you
Hey.
know, but you could
And
probably
I don't
troll
troll.
Johnny because I don't care if the Lakers win or lose.
I take
Yeah.
it though.
Oh,
Look.
Yeah.
See, look. Brandon talked for a whole 50 minutes, the whole show, right? But this one wants to point me out. He says, "Hey, Johnny, go on another panel then." Right? I'll go on another panel. Invite me, please do. It's a Johnny Bakari on YouTube. It's a Johnny Bakari on Facebook. It's a Johnny Bakari on Instagram. Y'all can find me anywhere. This face is all over the internet. I don't care. Like Brandon said, whatever. Come for me. I'm ready. Invite me to any panel y'all want, any conversation y'all want. I am down. I will behave. But I will expose you. I will expose you. Yeah, man. Yo, TikTok fellas, I'm waiting for them. Don't worry about those guys, man. Those guys are fun. They give me more information than they know.
Well,
all right, guys. Any last words, you guys, before we go?
Follow
and
me
get
on
out here?
TikTok, Ralph Alexander 65.
I ain't got nothing good.
That's why I want to say great show.
Yeah, man. So next week we're gonna do a Super Bowl show.
Yeah, if you want to, you know, my
You
my
want to
guy
give
in
a
the
little
Super Bowl.
break on basketball and do Super Bowl?
I mean, I listen.
Nah, you know, we gonna have to do the show because LeBron's about to be the all-time leading scorer. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
But you know what? You know what happens after 38K, right?
talking about what 40 or
I'll
something.
say 40.
Ooh, that's why me and Brandon are just the best combo out there. Goat James
Yeah,
Kingdom,
he's
y'all.
if
Count
he can,
down
I
to
already knew
40K
you was gonna
starting
say
next
that. What
week.
you talking about? I knew you were gonna
he
say
said he's
that.
gonna play
40.
for at least 3 years.
yeah, he
Like this
better
guy's
than
gonna have
say
50,000 total points.
40K countdown starting next week. Fuck the Super Bowl.
Nah, man, I gotta see that Super Bowl. That's gonna be a pretty good
No,
one.
we're gonna watch the Super Bowl, but we're gonna talk about LeBron James reaching 40K. That's what we're gonna talk about. Nah,
Lord,
we'll figure it out.
We gotta hear this drag out again.
And you know, every basket from here on
Jesus
out is a
Christ.
record. Y'all know that, right? Every basket from here on out is gonna be a record, right? You know that, right?
Yeah.
Every free
You
throw,
know that.
every tomahawk dunk, every logo
Kareem broke
three.
the record at 32,000 and he got
Everyone-
6,000 points after.
Every one of these.
Exactly.
So, like,
So he gonna do exactly what Kareem did. He just gonna extend
Kareem
it.
broke the record of what? In what? 80 what?
84.
84, and in 4
84,
years, every
84.
point was a record. So
85,
how
yeah.
about beat that record? 4 years of making every point being a
Look, see, look,
scoring
look, see, look at him, look at him, look at
It's
him.
the
look at
same
him.
though. He not lying.
record. I mean,
LeBron can't. He
Kareem
always
did it
got
for 4 years.
Yeah, LeBron,
Out with
you
the
ain't
old, in
doing
with the
enough.
new.
Out with the old. All right,
And he
fellas,
won a
thanks.
championship.
One thing I want to congratulate him on, he's breaking his record in less games. He is doing
Yeah.
that.
That's like 150 less
That's
games.
amazing. He's doing it in less games.
Well, thanks for joining GOAT James Kingdom, y'all. We go live every Sunday. We'll be back next Sunday with more GOAT James Kingdom talk. Y'all have a great day. Peace, everybody. Stay blessed. Have a good day.
All right, see you
Hopefully your
guys.
internet work better.
Oh, stop it.